Okay, so welcome back to the channel. Hope you are all doing good. As ever, I'm Jake from Jake Meets Coaching. You can find me on Instagram at Jake Meets Coaching. Thought really hard about that one. Hopefully, I'm going to be helping give you some reality when it comes to a little bit of fitness advice and nutrition advice today and through the rest of the channel. Trying to put to bed some of the more BS fitness advice or bro science that is just far too common and far too popular in and around the gyms on social media nowadays. So anyway, today I'm going to be talking you through DOMS. So essentially soreness, stiffness after training sessions. How sore should you be? How should you feel after training? How long should that be lasting? What should you be aiming to do? More importantly, what shouldn't you be aiming to do? That's probably going to be the more important bit this week, is knowing what it shouldn't feel like and how you shouldn't be experiencing DOMS, because that's the bit that seems to be causing the most problems. That's the bit that people get wrong, especially personal trainers. But before any of that, as ever, get it out of the way nice and early. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little notifications bell so you get reminded when I upload a new one, and if you like it, go and tell your mates about it, all that jazz, spread the word so that I can just keep doing these videos. So let's get into today's topic. Okay, so DOMS. If you're not familiar with what that means, it is just delayed onset of muscle soreness. It just basically means the soreness and stiffness that you feel or experience for the few days following a workout. You'll notice if you have a good workout, for a few days after, you might be a little bit sore, a little bit sensitive in the areas that you've trained during that workout. It's completely normal, it's fine, but there is a degree to which it is just too much, and actually it's probably going to be doing more harm than good for us, and we need to know where that line is, especially if you're trying to lose body fat or build muscle tissue, because there is such a thing as doing too much. Now the biggest problem with this, the biggest issue I see when it comes to DOMS and how sore you should be from training, is the whole no pain, no gain attitude. Like, yes, training should be uncomfortable. Training should be an effort. You should be leaving the gym knowing that you've done a workout, but you shouldn't be waking up the next day unable to get out of bed, unable to sit down on the toilet, unable to get up and down the stairs without pulling yourself along. Like, that is not the goal of training, and actually we're going to go into why that is going to be causing you more harm than good. And the worst thing is that I've seen over the years, and this has wound me up for years now, is seeing PTs who literally pride themselves on driving their clients into the ground, who literally wear it as a badge of honour that their 40, 50, 60-year-old client who's just in to feel a little bit fitter or lose a little bit of body weight cannot walk for 3 to 4 days after they've put her through a leg session or put him through a leg session. And they walk around the gym telling people how brutal their leg workouts are, how they know how to train people. And it's just like, think about for a moment, just stop and think what that person is trying to achieve. Like, that person has hired them to help them get fitter, lose some body weight, feel better, whatever it is. And by putting them into the ground and literally leaving them struggling to move normally for 3 to 4 days afterwards, they're doing the exact opposite of what they're being paid to do. Even though you might be saying like, oh, well, I must have done something right because I'm really sore. No. You haven't. It's all just ego, right? And look at it this way, okay? So let's take someone who was wanting to lose body fat, right? We know that if you're wanting to lose body fat, you need to make sure you're eating in a calorie deficit, you're moving in the form of steps regular every single day, you're able to train regularly through the week, 3-4 times a week, train with intensity, and you're able to do a little bit of cardio. That's pretty much it, right? If you can nail those 4 things, you're going to lose body fat, no questions asked. So then let's put that person into a situation where they've hired a PT, they've gone for a leg session with that PT. That PT is then just purposefully driven them into the ground and put them through a brutal leg workout to the point where now for the next 3 or 4 days, they literally are struggling to walk properly. They're struggling to go up and down the stairs. Do you think that that person is now going to be able to hit their step target as they normally would? Probably not. Do you think that that person is going to be able to go back into the gym the next day for a different workout and put in the same amount of effort they should be putting in? Probably not. They're probably not even going to want to go in the first place. Do you think that person is going to be able to do any form of cardio? Well, if they're struggling to walk properly, again, I doubt it. And then if they've had such a brutal leg workout that after that session they felt sick for 2 to 3 hours, do you think they're going to be eating as they normally would? Again, probably not. So already we can literally see that from that one workout, all these 4 things that we need to rely on and make sure that we're ticking in order to lose body fat are already thrown out the window because we can't do any of them. So if that person is paying a personal trainer to help them lose body fat, that one workout that they're putting them through is literally stopping them from doing that because they're no longer able to do their steps. They're no longer able to get their nutrition in the same, no longer able to do their cardio, no longer able to get their workouts in to the same frequency. With all that in mind, do you think they're more or less likely to be losing body fat? It's obviously going to be less likely. So how is that helping anybody? It's not. It is literally just an ego thing. Mostly with blokes, if we're being honest. It's not really, you don't really ever seem to get women doing those sorts of leg workouts and wearing that as a badge of honour. They do it and they seem to realise pretty quickly that was probably a little bit too much and I'll scale it back next time. Unfortunately, with blokes generally, it's a little bit different. So what should DOMS actually feel like then? If I'm telling you that shouldn't be sore for 3 to 4 days struggling to move about, how sore should you be? After your workouts, you should be experiencing a little bit of soreness and stiffness, but it literally should only be a little bit. And at most, it should be lasting for a couple of days maximum, because we want to make sure that you can hit each muscle group 2 to 3 times every single week, split across the week. So with that in mind, if we're wanting to hit a muscle group 3 times in a week, we need to make sure we're not sore for any more than 2 days after a workout so that we can go back in and hit the same muscle group. Because if you're going back in and you're still sore, you're probably not going to have quite as good a workout. So 1 to 2 days max should be how long that soreness should last as a maximum. And it definitely should not be taken away from any of your normal daily activities. It shouldn't be affecting your steps, your cardio, subsequent workouts, your nutrition. That should not be the case. And this is where it comes into how we actually grow muscle tissue effectively, right? If you want to grow consistent muscle and get stronger, you need to be able to not only consistently train and lift heavy, but you need to be able to recover. Now, if you're coming out of these workouts absolutely written off, it's going to tell you 1 or 2 things. You've either done far too much in the workout, likely. You're not recovering properly, potentially. So you need to address both these things. First of all, you need to start doing less in the gym. Drop your sets, drop out exercises that you don't need, stuff like that. Pull back until you get to a point where you're literally doing the least amount of work possible to get the result. Because trust me, that is what will help you get the result. And then second of all, you need to look at your recovery, right? So you need to look at what you're doing outside of the gym. What's your nutrition like? What's your protein intake like? What's your water intake like? What's your sleep quality like? How long are you sleeping on a night? What time are you going to bed and getting up? You need to start being a bit more accountable towards these kinds of things to make sure that you're recovering properly every single day, so that after 1, maximum 2 days after that workout, you're ready to go back into the gym and go again and have another good session on the same muscle group. Because if you can do that, instead of hitting a muscle group once a week and then being written off, which means you're going to hit that muscle group 52 times a year, if you can hit it 2 to 3 times a week, well, you're already hitting it 104 to 156 times in a year. If we take 2 people, person A has trained his chest 52 times a year, person B has trained his chest 156 times a year, who do you think is going to have made more progress? It's obviously going to be person B. So why wouldn't you want to be that person? So literally split your sessions across the week. You can do this whatever way you want. If it's 3 sessions a week, you could do full body workouts, you could do 2 upper body and a lower body, you could do 2 lower body and an upper body. Whatever you want to do, split your sessions evenly across the week, split those muscle groups evenly across the week. And this is something else that I tell people. The benefit to training your muscle groups across the week, instead of once a week in one big session, is that let's take you did your chest, right? 1 day a week, every Monday, you do chest, International Chest Day. And you did 6 exercises on your chest for that one workout. If you're training properly, by the time you've done your 3rd chest exercise, you should start to be feeling pretty fatigued and you should actually be struggling to maintain any performance on any subsequent chest exercises. But you've still got 3 to go. So do you think that those last 3 chest exercises are going to be of good quality? Well, if you're training right, probably not. So then surely it makes sense to take those last 3 chest exercises and put them 2-3 days later in the week where you can go in fresh and actually put more effort into them and get more back from that exercise, so that actually you're making more progress. And across the week, instead of having all your exercises in one session where half the exercises are done well and half of them are not, you're having all the exercises across the week where all of them are performed well. You're definitely going to be growing more consistently. So it's just a few things to think about. And if you've got a PT that you know is driving you into the ground with your workouts and making you do far too much, and you have a goal of building muscle or dropping body fat, it is time that you need to have a sit-down chat with them about why that isn't a good idea, about what you actually need to be doing, about the fact that you need to be pulling that volume back a little bit, so drop a couple of exercises out, reduce your sets down, maybe don't go to failure on every single set, or, probably easier, you just need to find yourself a new PT who doesn't wear it as a badge of honour. So that is everything that you need to know about DOMS. That is how sore you should be from your training, how long that soreness should last, how you should be structuring your training and how you should be making sure you're optimizing it all for reducing your body fat, building muscle tissue. It really is as simple as that. It does not need to be overcomplicated anymore. So I hope you found this episode useful. Like I said at the start, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your mates if you find it useful, if you think they're going to benefit from it, from a little bit of harsh truth or some harsh reality. And for more of the no BS fitness content that you love, head to my channel for more videos, or just click the video that's going to pop up at the end of this one. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.